Hello everyone. What we're going to look at here is how we calculate EVSI, or the expected value of sample information. And again, that sounds very much like other things we've already seen, specifically EVPI, the expected value without sample information, the expected value with sample information. All these little acronyms refer to something slightly different, and it's really important that we understand what we're being asked for each of those different situations. But here we're asked to calculate specifically EVSI, and again, this formula is going to look very much like something that we've already seen before. So if I look at how I calculate the expected value of sample information, or EVSI, we should find that it is the absolute value of the difference between EVWSI and EVWOSI, which looks almost identical to our expected value of perfect information formula. And once again, these two values that we're looking for, with sample information and without sample information, we have already calculated those, and we learned how to calculate those in a prior video. So I would highly encourage you, if you don't know where these numbers are coming from that I'm about to bring up, please first go and watch those videos and then come back to this one. But looking specifically here, and what we've already seen in the past, is that we calculated the expected value with sample information to be 15.9347. And again, that's in millions of dollars. And we have also already calculated EVWOSI and found that it was $14.2 million. And we've also found that this was the exact same, and it will always be the exact same, as EVWOPI. Those two things are identical. We use them in slightly different situations for different formulas, but EVWOPI and EVWOSI will always be the same. Only WO without sample information or without perfect information. With sample or with perfect is something slightly different. But the without situation will always be the same. So subbing in those two values into our formula, and once again, this formula makes it so it doesn't matter which way we do this subtraction, or whether I'm talking about a profit or a cost example, because we're dealing with the absolute value. We don't care about the negative sign. So even if this subtraction did come out negative, we would just ignore the negative sign and we would get the same answer in the end. But doing that subtraction, we end up with a value of 1.7347, which, because this is in millions, is telling us that the EVSI is $1,734,700. And really what that represents is this market research company that we're looking at here. What is the value of this market research report that they're going to give us? So that's really good information to know, because if I'm seeing a potential gain in my project, I'm seeing earning a potential over $1.7 million more. Well, this company might come out and say, okay, we got a lot of work to do. This is going to cost you $100,000 to do all the research and all the reporting that you need us to do. And you say, well, $100,000, well, that sounds crazy. But if that $100,000 is potentially going to earn us $1.7 million more, it really puts that $100,000 into perspective. And that $100,000 doesn't seem like very much when we stand to earn so much more in profit by getting a better idea of what's actually happening in this situation. Because remember, everything in this model is projections. These are projections. These are estimated profits, depending on what situation we're in. These states of nature probabilities are estimations. Everything here is an estimate. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. And the whole purpose of the market research is to potentially get a better idea of what those uncertain outcomes might be in the future. They're going to look a lot more closely into all the ins and outs and ifs and buts when it comes to this situation, and hopefully give us a better grasp and even better ability to predict what will happen later on. So again, what we are talking about with EVSI is what is the value of this specific market research report that we're looking at here. Not market research in general, this specific report. What is the value of this report And we have found that this report stands to earn us more than $1.7 million more in profit. I hope that helps in your calculation and understanding of what the expected value of sample information is. So please, if you have any questions, I highly encourage you, I always encourage you, please send me an email anytime those questions arise. Thank you.